Hey, me and Matt here, and I'm Killer Kyle. Welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury. Hey, me and Matt here. This is Killer Kyle. And welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury, where we talk about Night 2 of FYTER Fest.
Yeah.
Night 1 was a success, and I think that this one coming up is actually, I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, night 1 was really good. All the matches were good. The coffin match was very good. Matt Hardy and Kristen was good. The whole show was very good. The brawl, if you want to call it that, between Cody and Malachi Black was okay.
That was interesting. I mean, yeah, of course you have Malachi Black wearing all black, and then you have Cody wearing white, so it was almost like a... Well, I can only describe it as like when Undertaker and Shawn Michaels did the whole Heaven and Hell thing at WrestleMania 26.
Yeah, you got Cody in white, you got Malachi in black, and it's like, okay, they're trying to give you the indication that, oh, Cody's the good guy, and Malachi's the bad guy. And I mean, yeah, they went at it fairly well, but to call it, you know, a brawl, no. A fight, kinda. And all this really stemmed from was Aaron was in the ring talking about something regarding Cody, I think, or whatever. And then there's Malachi in the ring, and he kicks Aaron, and then Cody came out, and Cody got the same thing, and Cody wasn't too happy at the fact that, you know, a 62-year-old man got beat up and whatever, and it's like, okay, you want to go that route, fine. And clearly they're gonna have a match between the two of them at some point.
Yeah, no, I hope so. I mean, it's gonna be fun to watch. I mean, that whole aspect is interesting to me. I like it when two worlds, you know, good versus evil, whatever you want to call it. And like mentioned yesterday on the Facebook chat we did, you know, Malachi doing an interview talking about how he is an atheist, but he doesn't like bash it over people's heads or anything. You believe in what you believe in and whatever. So I mean, that's pretty cool. And then of course, you know, we'll see where that goes in the future.
Yeah.
So here we go.
The the speech that Malachi gave before, you know, the lights go out and lights come back up, and there's Malachi in the ring, and then Cody and Malachi start fighting each other, was very similar and reminiscent to starting to do with him in WWE, the Dark Father, the Black Father storyline, if you will. Unfortunately, Tommy got released by WWE before they could really go somewhere with that. I mean, like, you have these vignettes and, you know, the story of, you know, him as a child and his father and blah, 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 blah. And then you have him attack Big E, was it?
Yes.
Big E. And then it's like, okay, and now that you have a story to the character, now he's going to be on TV. And of course, he started with an attack on Big E, which is like, okay, cool. But then, not long after that, bye Tommy. It's like,
Yeah.
man, that's not how you want your career to end, so to speak. Like, just when you get off and running again on a different character and a different storyline, they release it, but, you know.
Yeah. And he was gonna have different theme music as well, which I thought was cool. But again, that's what WWE does, is they just ignore people's requests and they don't seem to care. They just do what they want anyways, and that sucks. So, I mean, AEW is more open-minded. Yes, they're a new company still, but they're more open-minded to ideas from the wrestlers, and they listen to the wrestlers. But
So we'll definitely be keeping an eye on this and seeing this particular storyline goes. And I'm sure at some point down the road it'll lead to a match between Cody and Malachi.
oh, for sure, and I can't wait to see it. I know you can't wait to see it.
Oh yeah. Let's not that out of the way. Let's get into Fighter Fest Night 2, shall we now? So we have Britt Baker, the AEW Women's Champion, one-on-one with Nyla Rose. I think this will be for the championship.
Yep, Women's Championship, AEW. And yeah, you know, I've been impressed by both of them. I mean, Britt Baker, I believe, is a face now, because, I mean,
I think so.
yeah, that's how it looks anyways. And I mean, we look at Nyla Rose, and she's definitely come into her own this past year anyhow, and
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I like that Britt Baker has been dominant. You know, her match with Thunder Rosa was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I think that it proved how diverse she is in the ring and how many styles that she can do. But to put the belt back on Nyla, I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see more from what Britt Baker can do.
Yes.
We've had the whole cheeseburger thing and whatever, and then her friendship with Tony Schiavone. So, I mean, that's really nothing, but it's still something that I want to see more of. I want to see more of what she can do as a champion.
Yeah, for sure.
So, as much as it's going to be a good match, and I'm pretty sure Nyla Rose will get the title at some point, I definitely see Britt Baker win.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have Nyla Rose as women's champion again. That's fine. Just not right now.
No.
Britt just having won the championship a month ago, roughly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, give her a longer title reign and then, you know, either give it to Nyla Rose or you can give it to somebody else. But, yeah, I feel strongly that Britt will retain the title.
Yeah, for sure.
So next we go on to, this is what I had mentioned in the Facebook Live we did Thursday. And I think it'll be a good match. It'll be cool to watch. I know Matt's gigging out for this one. You got a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom 14 for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship. Jon Moxley and Lance Archer, Texas Deathmatch.
We can't just talk about this empty-handed. Bing! Yeah, we gotta do a shot for this match. Here we go. I mean, come on. It's one thing, and again, I'll have to rewatch this match from last year.
Yeah.
But Jon Moxley and Lance Archer, these two guys put New Japan on the map. American guys, no less.
Yeah, exactly.
The Texas Death Match is one of the most famous matches in wrestling history. And the fact that these two guys want to do it again.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you have the IWGP United States champion in Jon Moxley. And he's went through everybody.
Yep.
You know, Carl Anderson, Kenta, fucking... we probably won't hit Hiroshi Tanahashi. You know, a lot of them. You know, and I think that this is going to be a challenge. I know that they've wrestled each other many times. Obviously, last year. But holy shit, this is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see it. You have Jake Roberts and Lance Archer's corner, but you also have Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley's corner.
Right.
And I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be utter chaos.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. They showed highlights of their first match at Wrestle Kingdom 14. It wasn't very many highlights. The one big highlight you could say was Moxley giving Archer a paradigm shift off the apron through two tables on the outside. So yeah, we'll have to look up that match and see if you can watch it in its entirety. And something I just thought of, I'm not sure, but that may have been the first Texas Death Match in Japan, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that.
yeah, I'll have to look it up. But I mean, you have a lot of great matches in AEW. Yes, the death match was the shits. But you have the Texas Bull Rope match.
Yeah.
You had... I can't remember that match that Dustin had. Then they used to have it in WCW.
The bunkhouse match?
Yes,
Yeah.
that match was brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, I have not watched a lot of WCW. I may have seen a match from the bunkhouse match. I don't know. But this match is going to be awesome. Not to determine a winner,
Yeah.
I mean, you got Jon Moxley, who's been a great United States champion. But I'm going to give this one to Lance Archer.
When they had Moxley defend the championship against Carl Anderson at the opening match for night one, they said if Moxley retained, he would have the most consecutive title defenses of the title since it was introduced, and it's like, okay, that's cool. Now, with that being said, you go into night two of Fighter Fest. Will they have that be like, okay, Jon Moxley has the most title defenses of the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, and then pass it off to somebody else in Lance Archer, for example, maybe. Although they could also have Moxley retain the title night 2 and, see how long of a reign he can have. I mean, would it be cool to see Archer as a champion of some kind? Absolutely. Is it his time? I think so. Will he win Fighters Fast Night 2? We'll have to see.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at the history of Lance Archer in IWGP, New Japan Wrestling,
Yeah.
his tag team partnership with Davey Boy Smith Jr.,
Yes.
and everything else that he has done, it's time for him to have a reign of some kind in AEW. And yes, I know that it's going to be mostly New Japan,
Yeah.
but it'll be interesting to see him in this light, in this championship run. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll put the AEW title on him.
Again.
Yes.
Put the AEW title on Archer. Yeah, I think Archer would be a good AEW World Champion.
Yeah, I think he's already been TNT champion.
No.
No? Okay. Still.
Which is kind of unfortunate, but,
Yeah.
And I mean, like, Moxley having already held the AEW World title, now he's got the IWGP United, well, he still has the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, That just goes to show you the caliber of competitor Moxley is.
Oh, I know.
And I mean, the matches this man has had, whether it be, Texas Death Match, or anything he did in, like, CZW, or WWE with the Asylum match with Jericho, or, whatever else he did, his original theme song in AEW, when he first was with the company, was good. Then they decided to switch it to Wild Thing. It's, not your slow ballad version of Wild Thing. It's a more upbeat, up-tempo version. And to me, that suits Moxley's character.
Yeah.
Because Moxley truly is a wild thing. So, kudos to AEW for that. And yeah, this will be, for sure, a fun match to watch. And who's gonna win? Who knows, man?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So now we have this match. We've got the chairman, Sean Spears, versus Chris Jericho. I can't remember the name of the stipulation. Oh yeah, no, that's not it.
Jericho was doing an interview with Alex Marvez, and he was talking about wanting to get his hands on MJF and, all this other stuff. Then you see him get hit in the throat, chin, jaw, whatever, with a chair, and it's like, okay, it's Sean Spears. And then MJF comes in and is like, hey, buddy, this is your, first of however many stipulations to get through to get to me. You will face Sean Spears at Fighter Fast Night 2, but he can use a chair and you can't.
Yeah. See, this is how you classify what a true heel is.
Right.
I mean, a lot of heels in wrestling are considered cool. A lot of people like them. You know, there's not too many that you despise, I think. And MJF is a classic asshole.
Oh, yeah.
That you just want to see the shit kicked out of him.
Oh, absolutely.
And Sean Spears, I mean, I've heard a lot of things negatively about him, and that's fine. But he's really trying to grasp his own character.
Yes.
So, with Chris Jericho, it's going to be interesting to see what this match has to come. Obviously, he can't use a chair. And there's many matches of MJF that, you know, he has to go through a whole pinnacle.
Right.
And that's fine, I guess. But I think that there's going to be something up Jericho's sleeve. There has to be.
Yeah, for sure.
That being said, it's going to be hard to pick a winner. I mean, I can easily see the Pinnacle cheat to get Sean the win. However, I can see Santana and Ortiz help Jericho. I could see Sammy Guevara help Jericho. I can, you know. So, I mean, it's up in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. As far as a winner, I guess. Honestly, I might pick Sean on this one. It favors him.
Yeah, true. I mean, the fact that Jericho can't use a chair and Sean can, it's like, okay, it's kind of like no disqualification rules, but, you know, very different. Like, only Sean can use a chair and Jericho can't. Whether or not Jericho will use, you know, something else to help him, maybe, we'll see. MJF, though, is one of those guys that I believe is, you know, I'm sure a lot of people say, trying to keep kayfabe alive.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is, you see superstars, let's say WWE for example, you see them one way in the ring, and then you see them another way at sort of bump, ride along, an interview of some kind, whatever. And it's like, okay, there is respect behind knowing the person behind the character, if you will.
Yeah.
Whether it be Pam, Bailey, Mercedes, Sasha Banks,
Mark
as Undertaker, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
MJF, though, I don't know if he was probably taught by whoever he was trained by to, however you are in the ring, you are outside of the ring, and you really only get a chance to quote-unquote be yourself behind closed doors, either at your house with your family, in your hotel room, whatever the
It
case
really
may be.
has to be fucking hard, though.
And I think that's a large part of the reason why a lot of people back the 80s, at least, turned to alcohol or drugs.
Yes.
Because, you know, when you're on all the time, you know, you're, let's say, a heel, you know, on TV in front of the cameras, you're a heel, you know, at the airport, and, you know, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And you really don't have that moment of, you know, being yourself, your true self. It can fuck with you so bad mentally.
Just like rock stars.
Yeah.
And I always talk about, as an example, Alice Cooper. because back in the 70s, he had to be on all the time. You know, he was on stage. He was Alice Cooper. He didn't know how to turn it off, and he turned to beer.
Yeah.
And he was a full-blown alcoholic and other stuff. And eventually, you know, go to rehab twice, he figured out how to be Alice Cooper on stage and Vincent Furnier, his real life, on, like,
When he's
Oh,
not on
okay.
stage.
and I think that's what a lot of today's wrestlers have to do.
Yeah.
And it'll have to do, because it really does fuck with you. And
Oh,
you
yeah.
really do turn to a life of drugs or alcohol or whatever. And it is lame, I understand that, but at the same time, you know, if they're not them, like, you cannot be The Undertaker 24/7.
No.
You can't be Stone Cold Steve Austin 24/7. Or, you know, well, Randy Orton's Randy Orton, but it's like the persona takes over your life and you don't know when to be you. So I think MJF has to have a life outside of wrestling. And when the cameras are on, or even when he's on the, you know, convention centers, you know, he turns it on. When he's with his family or by himself, that's when he's like, alright, I'm gonna be me, I'm not gonna be the asshole that I portray myself as.
Yeah.
So, I think that's a big difference.
Yeah. And I think that's a major part of what has helped a lot of wrestlers with career longevity, so to speak. You know, you're one way in front of the cameras, and, you know, maybe autograph signings, meet and greets, so on and so forth. But in your personal life, you are the real person, if you will. You know, you mentioned Alice Cooper being, you know, Alice Cooper all the time, and then eventually he was able to separate Alice Cooper from himself
Yeah.
outside of being Alice Cooper, you know, at home and so on and so forth. You know, again, bringing it up, but, you know, as many times as we talk about it is as many times as it is worth bringing up. Sasha Banks. You know, she got to a point where, you know, she was on all the time. Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks, Sasha Banks. You know, episodes of either Raw or SmackDown, pay-per-views, autograph signings, meet and greets, so on and so forth. It eventually got to a point where she was just mentally, emotionally drained. And it got to a point where at WrestleMania, she is like the old saying, the lights were on, but nobody was home.
Yeah.
She was just that mentally, emotionally drained. And once, you know, WrestleMania was in the books, and, you know, her and Bayley lost the tag team title to the Iconics, she was like, alright, I need to step away. I need to take some time to myself. I need to, you know, forget about Sasha Banks for a little while. And I just need to be Mercedes. And she did that. She took a few months off. It was like 4 months, I think. And then when she was, you know, she did the whole therapy thing. She went to Japan. She trained with, was it Miko Satomura?
Yeah.
And, you know, did all that and just was herself. And then when she was sound of mind, body, and spirit, if you will, was like, alright, I'm ready to come back. I want to come back. I want to wrestle some more. I want to wrestle again. And, you know, she came back did the whole thing with Natalia and was off and running from there. And, you know, it's like I said, that time off really didn't seem to hurt her position as far as, you know, being one of the top superstars of the company, if you will. Now, she did, I think, go to Vince maybe and asked for time off, and he said no. She just ended up taking the time off anyways, which,
A good call.
well, it is a good call. Now, it may not be, you know, the most popular decision, but I mean, she did what she needed to do for herself. And I mean, you know, I really think maybe a lot of people really understood why she did what she did, and, you know, they didn't hold anything against her for it. And, you know, another thing about it too is, you know, when she was not in the right mental headspace, if you will, she could have been like, I'm just having an off day, you know, I'll be fine, and, you know, I'll carry on, you know, be a good trooper, and, you know, push through it and push forward, and, you know, it's just a phase, it'll pass. But it wasn't just a phase, and she was like really in a dark, dark place, and it could have been much, much worse. So, you know,
Yeah.
props to her for going, no, I need to get away. I need time to myself where I can be with my friends, be with my family, and just be me.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, once she took that time off and, you know, got herself in the right mental headspace and, you know, clear of mind and, you know, emotionally sound or whatever, she came back and she was off and running. Now, we haven't seen her in a little while, and who knows what she's been up to lately,
Yeah.
but I'm sure we'll see her again at some point. Nevertheless,
Yep.
carry on,
Ah,
my wayward son.
hell yeah. So now we have this match. We've got Orange Cassidy versus Braxton the Blade Stutter.
Yeah,
This is gonna be interesting. You have the best friends, obviously, feuding with the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny,
yeah.
and the bitch. And so, we're gonna see what happens in this match. Again, like I said before, I think that Orange Cassidy, in my opinion, isn't championship material right now. I think he's just one of those guys that I would put him in the same category as like well, I don't know, I don't want to take any heat. I don't know. Oh, randomly I'll just say Max Moon, but that's not true at all.
Nah.
But, you know, you got the Blade, definitely a guy that has been dominant, you know. Well, he was dominant in Smash,
Right.
and then, of course, you know, Impact. And coming over to AEW, and you have these two guys beat the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, they had a very good match with the best friends. This match is going to be interesting, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. And there, yeah, you've got, you know, Butcher and the Blade and the best friends feuding with each other, with Trent out for a little while with an injury. Chuck, he hasn't really been doing much. I thought maybe he would, you know, continue to wrestle in a singles capacity, but whatever.
Yeah.
And they've essentially continued the rivalry with Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander and the Blade and the Bunny. And, you know, as in, like, okay, we've got Trent out with an injury, But like over the last, I'll say 4 months roughly, where's the Butcher been?
Yeah, I know. I haven't seen him either.
The Butcher's been MIA for a while. But I mean, with as many people as there are in both teams, they can easily continue the rivalry. And this will be a very interesting match. I don't really know necessarily who would benefit from a win in this case. One thing I will say though is, you say you don't see Orange Cassidy as championship material, and he's in the caliber of, whoever the fuck you want to throw in there. But like, who do you know of that is as over as a flapjack and does very minimal?
Oh.
Doesn't really talk very much. Has this, nonchalant, cool guy attitude. In the ring, he's phenomenal and kills it every single time, but, like, is not really your atypical character, if you will.
I don't want to say Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, God.
No.
Kyle O'Reilly is miles above Orange Cassidy.
No, I know. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah, for sure. I can't think of anybody offhand.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Orange Cassidy, yeah, you may not see him championship material, if you will, but, like, he's so fucking popular. Everybody loves him.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just got this, chill demeanor. Yeah, in the ring, you turn it on like that, and, has had some absolutely amazing matches, but I think that's what has defined him as, Orange Cassidy, if you will. He has this demeanor, and yet, he can get in the ring and have some killer matches, and he's just so over.
Yeah.
We all know, of course, about Pepper Parks, Braxton Sutter, the Butcher, and the Bunny, Alley, whatever.
And the one thing I want to run by, too, is a lot of these guys have come from Smash.
Oh, yeah.
A great, one of the founding companies out of Ontario, Canada. You have Braxton and, whatever the Butcher's name is, I can't remember. Andy. I mean, yes, they're from Buffalo, the Buffalo Boys.
Right.
You got Allie, you've got fucking Stu Grayson, Evil Uno.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool to see that you get a lot of talent from upstate New York, Montreal, Quebec, area up over on AEW.
And that's one thing that we talked about previously. With AEW, you get a mix of people that are in the company that are a mixture of, what would you say, international promotions, if you will, or independents or whatever. You got the Butcher, the Blade, the Bonnie, Super Smash Brothers. From Smash, you got a plethora of people from WWE. You've got, people that were, on either the independent scene or other promotions anywhere else in the world, and may not know them very well until you saw them, let's say, in AEW. Your Jurassic Express, your Private Party, your maybe Angelico and Jack Evans, your Britt Bakers, your Chris Statlanders, your Nyla Roses, your Hikaru Shidas, your etc. etc.
Yeah. And it's so cool because a lot of the couples that you see in wrestling are in different organizations.
True.
Got Adam Cole and Britt Baker, John Moxley and Renee Paquette. There's probably others.
Well, Renee isn't really with,
WWE no more,
yeah.
but
She's mainly focusing on her Oral Sessions podcast.
yeah. So,
Yeah, you got your, Adam Cole in NXT and your Britt Baker in AEW. Now, when Morrison first went back to WWE and then Taya Valkyrie was still with Impact, you can count that, but now that she's gone to NXT and she's Frankie Monet, well, that kind of throws it out of whack.
yeah.
Really can't think of any other, wrestling couples that are in two different promotions. There's a lot of couples that essentially are with the same promotion.
Right.
Like, we're going to talk about John Morrison and Frankie Monet, Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano. I think you could probably even say Scarlett and Karrion Kross.
Yes.
Mia Yim and Keith Lee.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor, you can go Mike Bennett and
Maria
Maria
Kanellis.
Kanellis. I'm sure there's others, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, this is gonna be a really good match too.
yeah.
And I can definitely see Chuck Taylor or, well, the Butcher's not there, so
Yeah.
Matt Hardy maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, somebody from the Hardy family office, whether it be Matt or,
Private
Allie
Party.
or Private Party.
I mean, hell, I would love to see Statlander and Allie.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So this match I'm trying to find too. It's gonna be Page and the Dark Order versus Kenny Omega, Good Brothers, and the Young Bucks.
Well, I think it's supposed to be a 10-man. You got Omega,
Okay.
Good Brothers, or actually, maybe it's just Kenny, Luke Gallows, and the Young Bucks against Adam Page and whoever of the Dark Order.
Right.
And the stipulation is if Page and his team win, Page gets a shot at the AEW World Title, and any two members of the Dark Order get a shot at the tag titles.
Yes.
But if Kenny and his team wins, Page doesn't get a shot at the world title, and the Dark Order doesn't get a shot at the tag titles.
Yeah. So I definitely want to see Adam Page get the title at some point.
Oh, for fucking sure.
And I mean, we talk about Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. The rest of the fucking Dark Order should get a title at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. I think that I would love to see the Dark Order and Adam Page win this match.
Yeah.
We had a lot of the Bullet Club or the Elite win matches lately.
Yeah.
And so it would be interesting and different if we saw Adam Page and the Dark Order win.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be one hell of a match. I know that, and I know the history of Kenny Omega and Page, Adam Page, so it'll be
Yep.
cool to watch as well.
Oh, for sure.
So,
And I mean, Page chasing the world title again? Why not?
I know. I don't think he had much in Ring of Honor
No.
or New Japan or wherever else he was at.
Yeah.
So, yeah. let's see him chase the title. I want to see that. Whether it be TNT or AEW, you know, it would be very cool. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. You know, just because they're the champion, you have to lose a title at some point in your career. So,
Yeah.
why not have Adam Page beat Kenny once and for all?
Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, so this was night 2 of Fighter Fest. Definitely worth checking out. Night 1 was awesome, so
Yeah.
definitely is going to be interesting to see what happens next week.
Yeah.
And then Fight for the Fallen, which will be on pay-per-view.
Yes.
So look forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been another, well, yesterday we did 2 prediction videos. So, yeah, look forward to this one.
Yeah.
Anyways, for Killer Kyle and myself, we bid you adieu
Goodbye.
and good night.